You're listening to the Deidre Reigel Hope and Healing Radio Show, where your voice matters. We're glad you're here and believe you will be too. And now, Deidre Reigel with today's guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Deidre Reigel Hope and Healing Radio Show. We're so glad you've joined us today. I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Catlea. She is an 18-year-old whose haunting vocals will leave you wanting more. This pensive singer-songwriter from Cincinnati, Ohio, has been playing music for as long as she can remember, so long, in fact, that she says she, quote, feels the music in her bones. Along with her distinctive voice, Catlea also plays piano, guitar, and ukulele, her music spanning the genres of folk and indie to rock and pop. So this is a very versatile gal. You're already getting this picture, I'm sure. Catlea's first single, called Breathe Away, has been produced by Trey Vidito, who has also produced the likes of Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, and Katy Perry. And this single was released on June the 7th of this year and will be available on iTunes, Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitch, and YouTube. And I'm going to right now give you her website information because it's a great website. You're going to enjoy it. And that is www.catleamusic.com. Now let me spell that. It's www.catleamusic.com. And there are other ways, of course, that you can access her music, and those will be displayed in the visuals of the podcast as we go forward. So with all that said about this amazing young woman, Catlea, welcome to the show today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's just a delight. You know, as an artist myself, it's always so exciting to see people who are at the tender age of 18, already producing music and doing it in such a wonderful way. I listened to your single, and it's just beautiful. It's so magnificently written. It's beautifully produced. The vocals are great. It's very moving. So before I even ever start to engage you in conversation, I just want to say congratulations to you for getting this far at this age. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So I've got some questions. I myself am a singer-songwriter, but I've known it all along in my life, but when did you know that you wanted to be a singer-songwriter?
Well, I started writing music right around when I was about 12 or 13, like officially. It was like just the easiest way for me to express myself. I've always found it hard to articulate what I want to say with words, but music helps me to get the emotions across way easier. But my mom tells me that when I was like, before I could even speak, I would just make up songs. So I guess it's always been in me.
I would say so. And you bring up a point about music expressing what sometimes mere words cannot. And I believe that music is a universal language and expresses the inexpressible. And so I find it fascinating that you have been writing this long and use it as a vehicle to express. And, of course, you're giving other people a voice, too, in what you express. How many times will somebody listen to your song and say, wow, I really relate to that. I really feel that. So this is a wonderful thing that you've been writing this long. So I know you play a lot of instruments, and you've obviously worked very studiously on your singing. What is your musical background? Can you tell us?
I started taking singing lessons when I was 2. My mom, she just decided that I needed to take singing lessons. And during one of the lessons, actually, I just started messing around on the piano, and my teacher told me that if I wanted to play the piano, I had to take lessons for that too. And so that started a decade-long adventure of learning how to play piano. And from there, I learned guitar from my brother, and I learned ukulele on my own. And when I was 12 and I was going into middle school, I actually got into the School for Creative and Performing Arts in Cincinnati, and I went there for 4 years. And that was where I really started to develop my voice and feel like I could really do this as a career. It's when I really figured out that it was like what I wanted to do.
Absolutely understood. And your education has been practically lifelong, Catlea. I mean, this to start singing it too. First of all, yay, your mom, and then to have had the wonderful opportunity to learn and wonderful teachers along the way. I personally, as an appreciator of your music, really want to extend my gratitude to your teachers and really want to offer you the congratulations and the praise for being so studious and really doing your work. And of course, the idea of a performing arts high school, I think, is so wonderful for so many people. And you came into realization that you wanted to do this and probably only this for the rest of your life at just the right age. So yeah, very, very, very cool. This is very exciting hearing this information from you. So you've got this new single called Breathe Away, and I'm going to ask you, what was your inspiration for this single?
Well, the original inspiration for it was I was in Florida when I was 16, and my cousin was getting married that week, and we were staying in this beautiful beach house, and I had my ukulele with me, and I just decided to start writing a song because I realized that this was like a moment in my life that I just did not want to forget. And there are so many moments in life where you stop and think, I don't want to forget this. And that was the inspiration for this song, is just not forgetting the important moments in your life. And right before I released Breathe Away, like a week before, I actually went and visited my cousins and played it for them and told them that I had written it because of their wedding, and it was a really fun time.
Wow, what a great story. So you're taking from life, real life, and you wanted to memorialize a moment, and now you have a single. This is what we artists do, right? This is how we function. We live life, and we want to remember those moments and express. Totally express.
Absolutely.
I'm curious about the title, Breathe Away. It's a title we don't see often. We'll see breathe or see the word away in other songs. But Breathe Away, what is the significance of those two words used together?
Well, it really sums up the point of the song in two short words. It doesn't obviously give the whole picture, but it gives an idea of what I'm trying to portray, and gives off just enough that it's unique and it catches your eye, but it's not like a Fall Out Boy song where I sound like a copycat, where I'm just making a super long title or just saying something that's in the lyrics, just randomly naming that.
Got it.
This
Got
song
it.
title.
Understood, and I so agree. It's very eye-catching and very curiosity stimulating. So very clever on your part.
Thank you.
So what was the process like for you recording and producing Breathe Away?
Well, the actual process of recording Breathe Away itself wasn't very long, but in total, I started working on this, on building my music career, which inevitably led to me releasing this song 2 years ago, almost to the day of my release. My dad and I mutually decided that after I graduated high school, I should take a year off to see what I can do with my music. And so that started a journey where we would spend every day in the summer working on it and learning more about the music business and figuring out as much as we possibly could. And then inevitably that led to us looking for producers, which is where I found Trey Vidito. And he was just amazing. I remember the first time he sent me what he had done with Breathe Away, I started crying because I was just so happy.
Yes.
And it was just such a great moment to feel your music come to life like that. It was surreal. It was actually funny because I planned on going to the studio to record the vocals for that song 100%, and we were ready to do that. But I sent Trey a bunch of files from GarageBand because I was trying to give him an idea of what I was going to do, and he just took those files and made that into the song. So everything that you hear in that song that's vocal is totally from GarageBand.
Wow.
Entirely just me sitting in my beanbag chair recording with a microphone that I'm holding in my hand.
Wow. Talk about natural and so personal and so intimate. And what a validation for you to have a producer of Trey's stature in the industry take that and work with it. That is very cool.
I'm so lucky to work with him.
You are. You absolutely are. And you're deserving of it, in my opinion, Catlea, truly, here at 18 years old. What can we, the listening public, expect from you in the future?
That is a good question. I have another single already recorded that I plan to release later this year. I don't have an exact date yet, but it will be coming before the year is over. I have another single that I plan on recording in early July that will be releasing as well. And eventually, not too long from now, I'll be releasing a full-length album entitled Language Barrier. That is basically just the journey of my experience throughout this whole process of building my music career and everything I've gone through in between.
Wow. So I'm curious, the title of your future album will be, did I hear you correctly, Language Barrier?
Yeah, Language Barrier.
So may I ask you, if it doesn't give any secrets away ahead of time, how did you come up with such a unique and enticing title like Language Barrier?
Well, thank you. Like I said earlier about why I do music, I find it very hard to express myself sometimes when I'm talking to people. For whatever reason, I just seem to struggle with that. And Language Barrier is entirely about me trying to figure out how to communicate what I'm feeling, because I think it's no secret that 16 to 18 is a very vulnerable time for anybody. And I've gone through a lot in this past 2 years, and it's been difficult to get out what I've been trying to say about how I'm feeling and what my thoughts are. And so these songs are my way of breaking through that barrier.
Wow. This is when I'm so impressed with artists and the power of music and your intent to express yourself. So I get it, Language Barrier. This is something for the public and for me to look forward to, because I'm a firm believer, as I said earlier, that music expresses the inexpressible. And throughout history, we can just look at that and say, wow, the art are very valuable in our society. And as an artist myself, I totally agree with you that we artists are so valuable to people, helping them express and move their emotions. And, I often say most people come home from work, they turn their televisions on, and unless you've been in the television or film industry, you may not be aware of what actually goes into creating that product. Or you turn your radio on in the car, or you have music on in wherever you're shopping. And unless you're in the business, many people don't realize what goes into that, the intense process and the vulnerability of expressing yourself, even through music. And this is why I so support other artists, and I have such respect for those of us who do this work of expressing ourselves and giving other people a vehicle for doing this. Catlea, I have such respect for you and such good wishes for you. I'm hoping that you'll come back on this show in the future and keep all of us up to date with what's going on. I know that you've got some other digital distributors coming online soon, and I think that it'd be lovely to keep everybody updated on that. I know that your music can be streamed also on Spotify. You have a YouTube video as well, and so there are a lot of ways. Let me get my grammar straight here. There are a lot of ways for people to reach out to you and enjoy your work, appreciate you, and stay in touch with you. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and chatting with me today. I wish you the very, very, very best, and we will stay in touch with you here at this podcast to just keep everybody up with what's going on. And again, I offer you my congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so very welcome. And a note to our audience before I say so long for this podcast. Again, Catlea's website is www.catleamusic.com. That is CATLEA music.com. One final note before I bid adieu is a big shout out of thanks to Lynn Walker for connecting me with this lovely, young, inspiring songwriter. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Bye-bye.
Views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the show and host. This podcast and its content are not intended to diagnose or treat any medical or mental condition or substitute for proper professional care in this regard. You've been listening to the Deidre Reigel Hope and Healing Radio Show, where your voice matters. We hope you have enjoyed this podcast and found inspiration for your own life. If you would like to be a guest on this show, please contact us at drhoperadio@gmail.com. That's drhoperadio@gmail.com. I'm Oliver Dill on behalf of all of us here at the Deidre Reigel Hope and Healing Radio Show, wishing you a day full of joy and goodness.